Ever feel like your phone is holding you hostage? Mine's always flashing that dreaded storage full message. Like, dude, I just want to take a picture of this adorable puppy.
Yeah. We live in a world where we're constantly capturing memories, downloading files, and accumulating data faster than our devices can handle.
Tell me about it. The other day I was trying to send a video of, well, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Point is, my email decided it was too big. That's when I knew it was time to get serious about this whole cloud storage thing.
And it's a good thing you did. Cloud storage is one of those things that can seem a little mysterious at first, but it's actually incredibly useful, even revolutionary.
Right. It's kind of amazing when you think about it, especially when you consider where it all started. In prepping for this deep dive, I came across this article from World Insider, Cloud Storage Services, Navigating the Digital Sky.
Yeah.
Super interesting read. But get this, it mentions that the roots of cloud storage go all the way back to the 1960s.
The 60s, that's before personal computers are even a thing.
Exactly. It's wild. So it wasn't really cloud storage as we know it back then, more like early concepts of network computing, but still. Then fast forward to 1983, and CompuServe comes onto the scene, offering a very early form of online storage. You could upload your files to their servers,
Talk about being ahead of the curve. So like a very, very early version of Dropbox or Google Drive.
basically, but with way less storage. Think like 10 millibit. That was huge EE back then.
It's incredible to see how far we've come, and it really highlights how technology evolves. These small, almost experimental steps can lead to these huge shifts in how we interact with the digital world.
Absolutely. But for the longest time, I never really stopped to think about how it all actually works. I mean, what is the cloud, really? Is it just like a bunch of ones and zeros floating around in cyberspace?
Well, not quite. The cloud might sound ethereal, but it's actually very grounded in physical reality. We're talking about these massive buildings called data centers. Think of them as giant, high-security warehouses filled with rows upon rows of powerful computers, all working together to store and manage data.
Data centers. Okay, starting to get a clearer picture here. So my data isn't just floating around in some nebulous cloud. It's actually physically stored on these servers in these centers.
Precisely. And it's not just stored in one place. To ensure your data is always safe and accessible, these data centers use something called data mirroring. It's like having a backup of your backup.
Data mirroring. That sounds intense. Tell me more.
So basically, whenever you upload something to the cloud, that data isn't just stored on one single hard drive. It's actually copied and distributed across multiple physical drives, often in different locations.
Oh, wow. So even if one data center, let's say, had a power outage or something, my cat videos would still be safe.
Exactly. That's the beauty of this kind of redundancy. It ensures that your data remains accessible even if a part of the system goes down. They've really thought of everything.
Okay, that's pretty reassuring, actually. I'm starting to feel a little better about entrusting my digital life to the cloud. But what about security? That's the big one, right? I mean, we hear all these stories about data breaches and hacking.
You're right. Security is paramount, and cloud providers take it very, very seriously.
It does seem like every time you turn around, there's another story about some big company getting hacked. Makes you wonder if anything is truly safe online these days.
It's a valid concern, for sure. But here's the thing about cloud storage security is like a top priority for these providers. They invest a ton of resources into making sure your data is protected.
This World Insider article, it talks about all these different security measures like encryption. But honestly, that stuff kind of goes over my head. Is there a way you could explain it so like a normal person can understand?
Totally. Think of encryption as like a secret code. You take your data, scramble it up so it looks like gibberish to anyone who doesn't have the key to decode it.
Okay, so it's like putting a message in a lockbox that only I have the key to.
Exactly. And the best part is, with cloud storage, encryption happens at multiple levels. So your data is scrambled while it's traveling to the cloud and while it's just sitting there on their servers.
So even if some hacker managed to like break into the cloud, they wouldn't be able to do anything with my data because it would just look like a bunch of random characters.
You got it. Pretty neat, right?
It does make me feel a lot better, I have to admit. But I can't help but think about those stories you hear about those huge companies, even ones that specialize in security, getting hacked. Like, remember a few years back when Dropbox had that big security breach?
Yeah, that was definitely a wake-up call for the industry. But you know what? Even though those kinds of events can be unsettling, they often force everyone to up their game. Like after the Dropbox breach, they went back and implemented even stricter security protocols, made their encryption even stronger. And importantly, they were much more upfront with users about how to protect their accounts.
So it's like each time there's a problem, the whole system learns and gets better because of it.
Exactly. And that's the cool thing about technology. It's always evolving, always improving. But security is just one piece of the puzzle, right? Choosing the right cloud storage provider is also about finding the features and services that best fit your individual needs.
You're right. I mean, it's not like all cloud storage is created equal, right? There are so many different options out there. You've got Google Drive, Dropbox, Microsoft OneDrive. Heck, I'm probably forgetting a bunch.
Oh, there are tons. It's like trying to pick a new car or something. You wouldn't just go out and buy the first one you see, right? You'd think about your needs. How much space do you need? What features are important to you? What kind of budget are you working with?
Makes sense.
Oh.
So what are some of the things someone should keep in mind when they're trying to choose a cloud storage provider? Like what questions should they be asking themselves?
Well, a good place to start is to think about how much storage you actually need. If you're mainly just storing documents and photos, you can probably get away with a free plan from somewhere like Google Drive or Dropbox. But if you're working with really large files like videos or tons of high-resolution photos, or if you want to back up your entire computer, you'll probably need to pony up for a paid plan with more storage.
Yeah, that makes sense. What about other factors beyond just like how many gigabytes you get?
Well, it's a good idea to think about the devices you use. Like if you're all in on Apple products, iCloud might be the most seamless option for you since it's already built into all your devices. But if you're someone who uses a mix of, say, a Windows laptop, an Android phone, and maybe even a work computer, you'll want to go with a provider that plays nicely with all those different operating systems.
Okay, so compatibility is key. It sounds like choosing a provider is about finding that sweet spot between storage, features, ease of use, and of course making sure it's all secure.
You got it. But don't forget, cloud storage can do a whole lot more than just store your files. It's also become this amazing platform for collaboration and even entertainment.
Oh yeah. Tell me more about that. Like what else can you do with this magical cloud thing?
Well, for one thing, a lot of cloud storage providers are now integrating really cool collaboration tools, like take Google Drive, for example. They've got this whole suite of apps called Google Workspace, which includes things like Docs, Sheets, and Slides. And because it's all tied into Google Drive, you can work on documents with other people in real time.
Real time. So you mean like you can be editing a document with someone, you can actually see each other's changes as you type.
Exactly. No more emailing files back and forth or trying to figure out who has the latest version. It's all right there in the cloud, constantly updating.
That's amazing. I can see how that would be a total game changer for teams or like students working on group projects. What else? What other cool cloud tricks do you have up your sleeve? Real-time collaboration. That sounds insanely useful. I can't even count how many times I've accidentally saved over a document or lost track of edits. Speaking of which, this World Insider article we've been digging into, it mentions another cool feature file versioning.
Oh, yeah. File versioning is a lifesaver. It's like having a time machine for your documents.
Okay, that's a good way to put it. Tell me more.
So basically, with file versioning, the cloud provider automatically keeps track of all the different versions of your file. So like, let's say you accidentally delete a paragraph or you realize you need to go back to an older version of a presentation. No problem. You can just go back in your cloud storage and boom, there it is. You can pull up any previous version of the file.
Wow, so no more frantically searching through my computer for that really final version. Sign me up. But seriously, it seems like cloud storage is already so advanced. Well, what's next? What's on the horizon for the future of cloud storage?
Well, the article hinted at this, but AI is about to become a much bigger deal in the world of cloud storage.
AI. Okay, now I'm really interested. How's that going to work?
Think about it. Right now, cloud storage is mostly about, storing stuff. It's a really useful tool, but it's still pretty passive. But with AI, it could become way more proactive and personalized.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Give me an example.
Sure. Imagine this. You're working on a presentation, right? And your cloud storage, using AI, is smart enough to recognize the content you're working with and automatically suggest relevant files. Like maybe you're putting together a sales pitch and it pulls up that killer presentation you gave last year.
Whoa! That would be pretty incredible. No more digging through endless folders trying to find that one file.
Exactly. Or picture this. You're on the go and you need to quickly find a specific piece of information that's buried in a document somewhere in your cloud storage. Well, with AI-powered search, you could just ask your cloud storage a question in plain English and it'll find what you're looking for in seconds.
That's wild. It's like having your own personal assistant, but for your digital life.
Mm.
I never thought of it that way. It really makes you wonder what other cool possibilities are out there.
No kidding. And honestly, I think we're just scratching the surface of what AI can do with cloud storage. Who knows what amazing innovations are just around the corner?
That's a great point. It sounds like the future of cloud storage is about way more than just storage. It's about making our digital lives easier, more efficient, and maybe even a little bit more magical thanks to AI. Well, I don't know about you, but my mind is officially blown. Cloud storage, it's not just for cat videos anymore, folks. We've covered a ton of ground today, but as always, there's so much more to explore. If you want to dive deeper into any of the topics we discussed today, be sure to check out the show notes for links and resources. And hey, what do you think? How do you see AI shaping the future of cloud storage? Head over to our social media and share your thoughts. We love hearing from you. Until next time, happy clouding.